No, wrong one. Click on the wrong one. I mean, okay, go ahead.
Namo, fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo, fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo, fundamental teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Okay. Last time we we learned about did we finish the 10 or we finish only the 9? Did we finish this one as well?
We did talk about the dwelling of the anointment of the crown. And then I think that was a pretty long one, though. I'm
No,
not sure.
it's not too long.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. Then we finished that one. Yeah.
We did too.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So we go to the next chapter then. Okay. Okay, let me see. That's 16. Okay. Okay. The Brahma Conduct. Let me see. Hold on. This. I don't want to read the whole thing. Let me. This is. Which one is it? That's 16. Okay. This is. They don't have the outline, huh? Okay, this body is. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me quickly go through this. Okay, this is okay all the way down here. Okay, we just read some of them and we will maybe we understand most of them. Okay, let's start from here. Let's start out from here.
Brahma Conduct. At that time, the Godson, proper mindfulness, said to Dharma wisdom Bodhisattva, disciple of the Buddha, in all worlds, the multitudes of bodhisattvas rely on the thus come one's teaching, don the dyed robes, and leave the home life. How do they attain the purity of Brahma conduct, and from the position of a bodhisattva further ascend to the unsurpassed Bodhi way? Dharma wisdom Bodhisattva said, disciple of the Buddha, when the Bodhisattva Mahasattva cultivates Brahma conduct, he should use 10 dharmas as his basis of thought, and formulate the intention and contemplate them. That is to say, body karma, speech karma, thought karma, the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, and the precepts. He should contemplate in this way. Is the body Brahma conduct? Up to and including are the precepts Brahma conduct? If the body were Brahma conduct, then we should know that this Brahma conduct would not be good, would not be Dharma, that it would be turbid, stinking, and evil, and impure.
Okay, stop right there.
Okay, so the Godson, proper mindfulness, is questioning Dharma wisdom Bodhisattva about how to attain the purity of Brahma conduct, and from that position to ascend to unsurpassed Bodhi. And so Dharma wisdom is explaining how to do that. And that's through contemplating these 10 dharmas, body, speech, thought, and then the associated karmas, body karma, speech karma, thought karma, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and the precepts, which comes out to 10. And contemplating the way of like considering, is this body, or I guess it would be, is this speech, or is this thought, all the way up to, are the precepts Brahma conduct? And so it's just explaining like how one could contemplate in this manner.
But this one right here, what do you understand?
So, right, if we were to consider, is the body itself Brahma conduct? I think it'd be good for us to define Brahma conduct. I have a sort of general idea of it because I know, Brahma is it's the creator deity in the Hindu pantheon, but also, present in Buddhist cosmology.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a sort of pure conduct. I know in ancient India, there's the tradition of brahmacharya. Brahmacharya take various vows of like celibacy and vegetarianism. Um, but there's an essence to that, like a spirit of it. What is the spirit of those vows, the spirit of those behaviors, which I think would be the essence of Brahma conduct. So to me, it would make more sense to say, is the body maybe the origination of Brahma conduct? It would seem kind of odd for me to think if the body itself was conduct, because conduct seems to be the way that one conducts themselves. It's like in it requires some sort of action. And so the body itself, but if we do consider it that way, the body itself, is it demonstrating Brahma conduct? And this is saying, well, no, it's disgusting. It's filled with all of these things that if they were outside of us, they would be kind of gross. And we create feces, we create urine. The way we reproduce is kind of gross. The way we digest is kind of gross. So from one vantage point, one could say that the body is defiled, and so it can't be Brahma conduct.
You remember the four mindfulness meditation? The one of them is
Yeah, from the Satipatthana, the four
yeah,
aspects of mindfulness. So mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of the feelings, mindfulness of like thinking, mental formations, and mindfulness of the Dharma.
right. So what is mindfulness of the body?
Well, that's the impurity of the body.
Impurity, right?
Yeah.
What about the feeling?
The feeling impermanence. So the very
No,
fluctuation.
no, no. Feeling is not impermanent. In this case, feeling is
Suffering.
yeah, suffering, right? Feeling is suffering. And what about contemplate of the mind?
So that would be the impermanence.
Yeah, impermanent. What about contemplate of the Dharma?
All dharmas have no self.
Yeah, that's right. That's the whole idea, right? Um, so this is important. So that's why okay, we can go read the whole thing, not the whole thing, but keep going, and we will see the Buddha just like the way you said. Okay, we can see more. Okay, go ahead.
If speech were Brahma conduct, oh wait, no, if body karma were Brahma conduct, then walking, standing, sitting, and lying down, looking left and looking right, bending and extending, looking up and looking down would be Brahma conduct. If
Oh,
speech,
you skip
oh,
it.
sorry, so this is okay. If the body were Brahma conduct, uh, then it would not be Dharma, that it would be turbid, stinking, evil, and impure, that it would be disgusting, rebellious, mixed, and defiled, that it would be a dead corpse and would be a clump of worms. And then we already did body karma. So if speech were Brahma conduct, then Brahma conduct would be voice and breath, chest, tongue, throat, and lips, expulsion, retraction, constriction, and release, loudness and softness, clarity and indistinctness. If speech karma were Brahma conduct, then Brahma conduct would be compliments and inquiries, generalizations and elaborations, metaphorical speech and direct speech, speech in praise and slanderous speech, hypothetical speech, speech adapted to the world, and evident speech. If mind were Brahma conduct, then Brahma conduct would have to be perception, observation, discrimination, various kinds of discriminations, recollection, various kinds of recollections, consideration, various kinds of considerations, illusions, and slumber and dreams. If mind, karma,
No,
or
before that, let's summarize what you just did.
okay. So we've gone through body, body karma, speech, speech karma, and then mind. And Bodhisattva, Dharma wisdom, or Dharma wisdom Bodhisattva is explaining that, well, how none of these could be Dharma conduct because they're all mundane activities, like walking, standing, sitting, lying down, or just like controlling the elements of speech, like controlling the tongue and the lips, like breathing out, breathing back in, tightening the vocal cords, and that doesn't make sense. Then if speech karma were, well, then all the different modes of things we use speech for, like compliments, inquiries, elaborations, that those would be Brahma conduct. But it's clear that, while we may employ those things in exercising Brahma conduct, those things themselves are not Brahma conduct. And then if it were the mind, then any of these functions of the mind would be Brahma conduct. And you see like illusions, right? The mind can experience illusory phenomena where we think we see a snake, but it's really a rope. Or we see a shadow and we think it's an intruder. So clearly illusions can't be a part of Brahma conduct.
No, but why? Let's say that the speech, right? You said, let's talking about the body, karma, Brahman conduct. Walking, standing, sitting, lying down, looking left and right, bending. Why all this thing is Brahma conduct?
Well, it's saying if the body karma were Brahma conduct, then all of these things would be Brahma conduct because all of these things are expressions of body karma. So karma can be translated as activity. But in our understanding of karma, we include the return of such activity to the consciousness that originally undertook the activity. But if we think of it as just like the activity, it's really simple to understand how walking is an activity of the body. Standing.
But why the walking, why the sitting, why standing, you consider to be the Brahma conduct?
Well, I don't think it necessarily is, because here it's saying if it were Brahma conduct. So I think these are all examples of body karma. And so it's saying if body karma were Brahma conduct, then all these examples would be Brahma conduct. And that can't make sense because then everybody would be practicing Brahma conduct.
Okay. So basically, it's not conduct.
Yeah, not Brahma conduct, I think, is what it's. But clearly, one practicing Brahma conduct may walk, right? And they may walk a certain way, but the walking is not the conduct. It could be an expression of the spirit that drives the conduct. Or the mind state, or maybe be the consciousness would be the right word. I'm not sure what would be the best word for the source of it, because for say like the Buddha conduct would be the Buddha nature would be the source of that conduct. So the source of Brahma conduct is some sort of kind of intermediate realization, I think, prior to like realizing the full Buddha nature.
So the same thing with the speech. The same thing with the speech karma. So basically, all this thing is not considered to be the Brahma conduct. Okay. So the mind, the same thing, right? And the mind karma, it's okay. Keep going, and we could go down here and let me see what the Buddha is talking about this.
If mind karma were Brahma conduct, then one should know that Brahma conduct would be thought and feeling, cold or hot, hungry or thirsty, miserable or happy, worried or pleased. If the Buddha were Brahma conduct, then would form be the Buddha? Would feeling be the Buddha? Would thinking be the Buddha? Would formations be the Buddha?
Mm.
Would consciousness be the Buddha? Would the marks be the Buddha? Would the characteristics be the Buddha? Would spiritual penetrations be the Buddha? Would karmic deeds be the Buddha? Would fruit retribution be the Buddha?
Wow, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What do you understand here?
Yeah, so if the Buddha were Brahma conduct, it's such an interesting thing because it's conduct. Maybe it's something in the translation that's making it not flow quite as obviously for me, because if it said, if the Buddha nature were the source of Brahma conduct, that would make total sense to me. But saying if Buddha were conduct itself, Brahma conduct itself, it seems like there needs to be an action for it to be Brahma conduct. So I find myself a little confused. But it's pointing at basically that, like, we can't narrowly define this term in a normal mundane sense. We need to understand something that's transcendental. We need to, like, think in a different way to begin to understand this.
Okay. So if the Buddha were Brahman conduct, that means form, feeling, perception, formation, consciousness, that means the five aggregate, right? Is that considered to be the Buddha?
No.
Is that considered to be the Buddha Brahman conduct? If we say yes, then that means other people will, you remember in the Diamond Sutra, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we based on the form to see if we see the Buddha based on the form, right, or on the mark, is that considered to we are really see the Buddha?
No.
Any attachment whatsoever, that is not the true Buddha, right? What happened is the demon, right? The Mara, do you think Mara can be able to appear as Buddha? Manifest into the Buddha form?
Yes.
Yeah, that means any the external attachment, and we claim this is the Buddha, even though we see the real Buddha, Sakyamuni Buddha, and we say that I already see Buddha. Why? Because we base on the form, on the feeling, on those things, and that means the Mara can do the same. Then how do we be able to distinguish between the real Buddha and the Mara?
I would think it'd be the compassionate nature. It would be witnessing the Buddha taking actions, using all of the Buddha's resources, speech, actions, all thoughts, to help free living beings from suffering. The result of Mara's actions would be to bind people in ignorance. But the Buddha works to liberate beings from ignorance. But the problem would be if we have no wisdom, then we simply couldn't distinguish. It would require us understanding the Buddha's teachings to be able to distinguish, to know that, the Buddha's essence is compassion.
So when we in the core teaching of the Buddha, right? He teach us to attach or not to attach.
Initially, I think some attachments are given to counter other attachments, but the ultimate is no attachments.
Any kind of attachment is the notion of suffering,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Because they come and go. That means impermanent. And that's why the absolute Buddha teaching is no attachment, even though we uh, um, uh, 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 That's why what the Buddha said that if we see the form or hear the sound, that means the Buddha teaching, and we say that I truly see the Buddha. That is not that is the delusion, right? So that is not the true form of the Buddha. But what is the true form of the Buddha?
Mm. And you could, I think there'd be a few different ways you could answer that. You could say the Dharma body. That'd be one. You could talk about the three bodies of the Buddha. But I mean, the essence of compassion, the nature of all things would be the form of the Buddha. So all forms are the forms of the Buddha, as well as emptiness is also the form of the Buddha.
And especially for the one who do the meditation. You you have not learned about the 50 state of the demon state, right?
No, I think we're on page like 235.
Wow.
So we're almost halfway through.
And in the 50 demon state from the five etiquette, the meditator who doing the meditation, if they have any kind of thought arriving, if they do not flinch on that thought, it still be a good thought. It still be a good state. But any attachment to that thought, to the state they arrive within their mind, any kind of attachment, it will become the demon state. Does it make sense?
Yes, yeah, it makes me think of the something I'd read in The Words of My Perfect Teacher by Patrol Rinpoche, that it's about like the analogy is if you're walking on the edge of a cliff and the path is very narrow, there's no need to worry about the abyss to your side if you simply take care of every step in front of you. Because that one could ascend, like could make so much progress, and then a single attachment places them in the demon state. It's like falling, kind of falling to the abyss. It seems it's like walking on that, like a knife's edge.
Let me give you an example. One of the demon state in the form elegate. They want the meditator in a deep concentration, and very deep concentration. Their mind suddenly appear with the state of Vajana Buddha appear in their mind, and heal body feel in the healed body, and with the radiant, right? If the meditator saw that the arising state, right, in the mind, they acknowledge, but without attachment, that is the good state. But one day attach to that, and they claim that, oh, I'm the one who attend this state. It's very wonderful state. Oh, it's very rare. I'm the one be able to attend that state. One, we have that kind of attachment, it will turn into the demon state. You know why it turned into the demon state?
Because it's the self creeps in, because it's I have attained something.
Right.
And so then there's all of the different problems that can come from thinking one has attained something. Now there's something to be lost. There's something to be protected. There's something to be proud of. There's something to hold on to, so it causes all sorts of problems.
Do you know the Mara? in with desire heaven.
Mhm.
He in with the heaven. The number 6, right? The highest one in the desire realm, right? And the Mara heaven and the Mara himself very afraid of the meditator who are in the deep state. That means they are very close to accomplish the Dharma, right? And if that happens, the Mara palace will be shaken and will be collapsed, will be destroyed. That's why when the meditator reach to this certain state, they can feel the shaking of their own palace, the Mara. Therefore, they can be able to look down into the world, onto the earth. Who is the one that doing that? And they know who. And they will come and destroy this person. With all means. How do they destroy the meditator? How do they destroy the meditator? Do you know how?
I would think through illusions.
When the meditator in the samadhi, the deep concentration, with no thought, the the Mara cannot do anything. But when the meditator have any kind of thought, it will turn from no thought into thought. It means from non-dual into dual. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
The Mara know. Because the Mara be able to read that mindset. Whatever the state arise in the mind of the meditator, the Mara know exactly. If any kind of attachment to that state, the Mara, oh, I know you love this one. Okay, you want to see Buddha? I will appear as Buddha in your mind. And so you can be able to, I make you to deeply attached to this state.
Mm.
When the mother do that, the meditator become more attached to it, and he will lose his concentration. When he lose his concentration, that means he lose his samadhi. When he have no samadhi, that's how he destroyed the meditator. And the meditator from the pure state fall into the desired state. Does that make sense?
Yes, Ty.
So now you understand the Buddha word of Brahma Conduct? Honestly?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So can you help me to summarize based on the thing we just said with this para?
Yeah, I can try. But since we haven't defined Brahma conduct yet, I still like I get what you just said. That makes sense. And in this case, the Buddha is, the one who awakens to Buddha is undisturbed by the efforts of Mara. The efforts of Mara, like in the imagery of the Buddha's enlightenment, all of the spear tips of the legions of Mara turn to flowers. So there's not even an effort towards defense against the efforts of Mara. It's that the awakening mind that is not distracted is already the solution to the efforts of the demons. But I'm not sure if what you explained, if I can then use that to explain the Buddha and the Brahma conduct.
Okay, how about this? We will read a little bit more to see where the in this sutra it defines the Brahma conduct. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Dharma.
If the Dharma were Brahma conduct, then would still extinction be the Dharma? Would nirvana be the Dharma? Would non-production be the Dharma? Would non-arisal be the Dharma? Would ineffability be the Dharma? Would non-differentiation be the Dharma? Would non-acting be the Dharma? Would non-assemblage be the Dharma? Would non-according be the Dharma? Would non-attainment be the Dharma? If the Sangha were Brahma conduct, then would the procession towards stream winner be the Sangha? Would the fruit of stream winner be the Sangha? Would the procession towards once returner be the Sangha? Would the fruit of once returner be the Sangha? Would the procession towards never returner be the Sangha? Would the fruit of never returner be the Sangha? Would the procession towards Arhat be the Sangha? Would the fruit of Arhat be the Sangha? Would the three clarities be the Sangha? Would the six perfections or penetrations be the Sangha? So here, it kind of, the questioning now is reminding me of like, if we said, were to say, like, what is the self? If the body were the self, is the arm the self? Is the eye the self? Is the foot the self? So it seems to be saying that, like, if we're going to make a distinction and say that the Dharma or whatever, the Sangha, the Buddha is Brahma conduct, well then, what does that mean when we say the Dharma is Brahma conduct? Because there are many dharmas, but they all serve the same purpose. So it may be more appropriate, like, to just talk about the essence of the Dharma.
I think in all this teaching here, I did what I think. Any kind of attachment is not considered to be the Brahman conduct. Right?
Okay, yeah.
So far, right? And the Buddha point out all question here. So which one is the Brahman conduct? That means which attachment is the Brahman conduct? Good. Let's move on. Let's see what happens. Oh, do you know what the sixth penetration?
No, that's different from, because it's 5 spiritual powers. I don't know the 6 penetrations.
No, sixth spiritual power.
Oh, okay. Is it the same as the 6 penetrations?
Yeah.
Okay, so then there's like
The first one?
mind reading or mind reading.
No, the divine eye.
Okay. But that can kind of see through all different realms and know the thoughts of all beings.
Yeah. Oh, no, the eye can be able to see very far, right? Without optical.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Isn't there like the ability to know the past and the ability to know the future?
Yeah. The second one is the divine ear, right?
Okay.
You can hear very far without optical, without obstruction. That's second one. The third one is the mind reading, right? You can read other people's person mind. The fourth one is about the past life of others, right? The fifth one is this person have a power to make things appear small, big at their will. The sixth one is that is the one only for the Arhat. The one that have no desire and no self. The non-Buddhist practitioner, they cannot attend this one. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what are the 3 clarity?
The 3 clarities. I do not know.
It comes from the 6th penetration. The first one is the clarity of well, I don't know exactly the name, but basically the divine eye clarity. What does that mean? It means that this person be able to see through his own and other people being evolved in the samsara world, right? In the samsara cycle, some death and rebirth cycle, right? And whatever the karma he played in the past, it leads them to the retribution. This one be able to see that. That is the divine eye clarity. And also, okay, let me see. Just give me 1 second. I make sure I give you the right answer. Okay, hold on. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, túc mạng minh. Okay, túc mạng minh, that means it's the one have the wisdom, be able to see if all the being, right, evolve in the samsara world. That means in the death and rebirth cycle. For many lives in the past, right? They die here and they be born in elsewhere, right? And that means the one with this power, they be able to see all the being evolve in the samsara, right?
Samsara.
Samsara.
Mm-hmm.
Samsara. And the second one is the divine eye clarity with the wisdom, right? They be able to see the future of the being evolve in the future in the samsara cycle. This one here is the number 6. That means it's that means the one have no desire and the one have no self. Be able to see clear all the suffering and affliction of the sentient being, and they be able to see with Dharma a fix for them, help them to practice and to liberate from the suffering. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So that is the 3 clarity. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Go ahead and do this one.
If the precepts were Brahma Conduct, then would the platform area be the precepts? Would the questioning about purity be the precepts? Would the teaching of awesome deportment be the precepts? Would the 3 karma, vachana pronouncements be the precepts? Would the upadhyaya be the precepts? Would the acharyas be the precepts? Would the shaving of the head be the precepts? Would donning the kashaya sashas be the precepts? Would begging for food be the precepts? Would proper livelihood be the precepts?
Okay, what do you understand?
So the same pattern as we saw before, that it seems to be pointing at the importance of
what is the worldly deportment?
The worldly deportment. Well, that would be like being respectful to elders,
Mm,
being considerate to those who are considered to be in a lower position than us,
mm,
supporting our parents, taking care of our children, being helpful in our communities.
mm.
Those would all be, I think, examples of worldly deportments.
Okay. Let's see. What is upakaya? Let me see.
I don't know.
Let me see. What is that? I don't know either. Because in English, I don't know. Okay, let me see. Yeah. In Buddhism, yeah, in Buddhism. Means something, okay. In the Asian. If you want to know exactly meaning of it,
So if
oh
you
my.
take in the side Mahayana Buddhism, if you look under 4A on the left, oh, not that far left. Yeah.
Oh, the teacher. Respect to the teacher. That means the one who transmit the precept to the
Mhm.
disciple. Right? Yeah. All right, that's okay. So okay. That means the teacher, the preceptor, that means the one who transmits the precept to other. Considered to be the precept. And this one, what is it one?
I think those are the ones who take the precepts.
This one right here?
Yeah, that's a term used in Hinduism too.
Oh, you mean this one?
No, I think acharyas
Oh, okay.
are the ones who've taken the precepts, I think.
Okay. Let me see. Hindu Buddhism, spiritual leader, spiritual teacher, mentor.
Okay.
Hmm. That means the teacher who teach the Dhamma. Okay. With the saving of the head. Okay. Do mean that means the road, right? We were the monk who were foot on the road.
Mhm.
Putting wood baking for food be the precept. Love proper livelihood be the precept. Okay. So all the question here. So that means when the Buddha asks, that means none of this is a Brahman conduct, right?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, keep going.
After contemplating in this way, do not grasp at the body, do not grasp at cultivation, and do not dwell in dharmas. The past is already extinguished, the future has not yet arrived, and the present is empty and still. There is no one who creates karma, and there is no one who receives retribution. This world does not move, and other worlds do not change. Among these things that Dharma can be called, Among these things, what Dharma can be called Brahma Conduct? Where does Brahma Conduct come from? To whom does Brahma Conduct belong? Who or what is its substance? By whom is it created? Is it existent? Is it non-existent? Is it form? Is it non-form? Is it feeling? Is it non-feeling? Is it thinking? Is it non-thinking? Is it activities? Is it non-activities? Is it consciousness? Is it non-consciousness?
Okay, stop right here. What do we understand from here?
This is a theme that shows up in other sutras as well.
Mm-hmm.
To help reveal what something is, ruling out what it is not is very common. Um, and so in this first setting, it's saying, okay, now initially it recommended contemplation. Now it's like basically don't pursue any thinking now. After contemplating that way, don't attach to anything, not even to dharmas. And then like setting the stage with like, okay, resting in the emptiness and the stillness in the present moment, to the point where, there's no concept of the present moment. And then in that state, we can't really say this is that, because that's a movement in the mind. That's like a concept that we can create. We can create Brahma conduct is this. And so if we go to try to contemplate in that state what is Brahma conduct, then I think it's pointing at this law of independent arising as well, and at the like relative truth and absolute truth, where, okay, perhaps we can describe the effects of Brahma conduct, like the sort of action someone takes if they're practicing it, the thoughts that they have. But those things are not Brahma conduct itself. They're like expressions of Brahma conduct. And it brings us to this question about, okay, well, what is the source of it? Like who has the conduct? Can it be said to exist? And so these are all things that our mind naturally wants to do. It wants to describe phenomena, when in reality, these phenomena are truly empty. But we think about them like they're real, and then we pile on, more and more concepts onto the initial concept. So this really takes us to this point beyond conceptual thinking, like beyond really thinking about something.
Okay, let me put it this way. Let's say that the person who practice patient, right? And he know that he practicing patient. Is that considered to be patient?
Well, not ultimate. Maybe it could be the initial steps, but if I have the thought like I am practicing patience, that's not the perfection of patience. The
So
perfection,
what's wrong with that thought?
because there's a thought of I, and then there's a thought of something that requires patience, and then there's a thought of then one supplying patience to that situation. But the true patience is like a natural process, like a cloud raining or like a flower blooming. There's not an effort involved. It's a natural function of the Buddha nature, because the mind isn't grasping at anything. There's nothing that it prefers over anything else, because it's already rooted in the Buddha nature that's whole and complete. So that's just the natural function of the awakened mind, is to
Don't
be
you think
off.
that any kind of wrapping to the patient, let's say that is that the same thing almost? Don't you think it's possible will be suppress the feeling?
Absolutely, yes.
So basically, this is the worldly patient. This is not the Buddha teaching patient. I mean, in the parameter of patient. So any kind of thought, right? It will easily we will fall into the suppressed out feeling instead of the true nature of the patient. That means just like it's natural, right? It's come as natural. That is the whole idea of the Buddha teaching. So if we think in terms of like this, we will understand what is, in general, we will understand what is the Brahman conduct. Don't you think?
Yes, yeah. It's interesting because it's the same sort of entry as a meditative state too, where if we're going to practice meditation, we could say like, well, what is meditation? And then all of these things could also apply. Like, am I meditating if I have a certain form that I take up, or if I have a certain feeling, or if I, breathe in a certain way, is that meditate? Like all of these things where it's like we could it's a pattern of the mind to try to classify it in all of these ways, but it's all illusory thinking. And so if we want to actually meditate, then we need to like distinguish the illusory thinking and not pursue it.
That's why the non-Buddhist meditator, right? They can reach to very high state in the formless realm, right? But they cannot be able to attend the holy uh, uh, state, right? Because they do not know this one, right? This is exactly the Buddha teaching. They don't have the the right GPS. So it's very tough, especially our mind, right? It have a habit of grasping, right?
Mm-hmm.
From rough to subtle. Okay. Anyway, good. That's good. So, um, to who the Brahman conduct belong to? Where the Brahmas come from, right? I'm on the thing. Okay, and uh, if no one, right? If no one, if there no one is empty, and who is the one who create all these things?
Yeah, I think these questions are like revealing the illusory nature of the thinking. Like the question itself is revealing the like the confusion that someone is in. Is we have a notion of a self, but then when we go to look for it in the present moment, which is empty and still, we can't find any self. It's like the self is a shadow we see out of the corner of our eyes. And
So who create the body? Who create our body? Who create our phenomenon?
so I think we could maybe have a relative and an absolute answer. The relative, we could say, well, it's the karma associated with our consciousness. But I think the absolute answer would be that, all things in their essence are Buddha, and it's beyond all intellectual capacity to describe, to measure, to explain. It's only the mind of the Buddha, like sees those answers.
So let's go back to our model of consonant, right? We have 8 consonants. The first 7 consonants, where do they come from?
They come from the karma.
And where the karma come from?
The karma is stored in the 8th consciousness, and it's from past actions.
So basically, all the first 7 consonants, that also come from the Arya consonant, don't you think?
Yes.
And what is the Arya consonant? Is that the stream of consonant, right? The stream of consonant, do they have any kind of form?
No.
And do they have any kind of specific feeling?
No.
Do they have any kind of specific perception?
No.
Do they associate with a specific from mental formation?
No, they always vary.
You see, that means the stream of consciousness is the one that create all being, right? Depend on the power of the karma we play inside Arya consonant. Arya consonant is the storehouse, right, of consonants. And inside Arya consonant, we have the power of the karma in the past that we pray, good and bad. But we also have the good root, good seed of a consonant as well. We have a bad seed of consonant. Let me distinguish so you understand. Let's say that in we do. Let's say that the one who have a habit of anger, right? That means in his earlier consonant, he have a lot of anger seed. But do you think that the anger seed is already become the bad karma?
No.
Not yet, not yet. But if someone accuse him without reason or whatever, they yell at him or whatever, it would trigger his anger because he have so many anger seed in there, right? And this anger seed will be manifested into my consciousness. And we will become mental formation of anger. Does that make sense? Then the mental formation of anger will turn into the physical formation of anger to the mouth. That means we yell back, right? Or to the body, we fight back. When we yell or when we fight with the body, that is the time we pray bad karma. Does it make sense? So now we understand the difference between the seed and the karma by itself. So that's why the Alaya consonant is the one when the person who died, right? That is the last one leaving our body. But it's the first one come into the mother womb, right? And become the first one for our body. Don't you think? It will rely on the father's sperm and the mom egg, right? But the father sperm and the mom egg by itself, can it create the fetus?
No, not without the consciousness.
So the Alaya consonant is the one with these two condition, right? The father sperm and the mother egg. The combination of the three will make the kalala. That
Yeah.
is the first state of the fetus. And every week, right, we have the different name of the common wind. It will pray the body and the mental. That's where the first seven consonants will establish week by just all the way down, right? Slowly down all throughout the 38 weeks. So now go back to the question that, so if no, well, in the stream of consciousness, we don't see any form. And we don't see any that means everything is illusion, no self, right? Therefore, it's considered to be empty. In that case, it doesn't mean that it's nothing. It's just empty because all things is have no self. All things is it's impermanent. That's what the definition of emptiness, right? In this case. But when the the power of the karma inside the stream of consciousness is the cause, right? Or the cause. But when they meet the condition, it will it will create the existence. Does it make sense?
Yes.
For example, the cause, that means the power of the karma inside the Alaya consciousness. When we if we have a link with the future parent, right? And during the intercourse, right? And because we have that link, we will see them. And we come into it, we also enjoy all those things, right? Because we do not know they are the future parent. And therefore, those things, if we call the condition. Whatever happened right now is considered to the condition. The cause plus the condition, it will create the existence. Does it make sense? That's why no one, right? No one, because cause and condition, it will create the impermanent one. That impermanent one will also gone when the condition is not there, right? When the condition is extinct.
Mm-hmm.
But then who pay karma and who pay for the retribution?
Well, the karma is illusory. It's empty, devoid of an intrinsic self. As is the retribution, as is the concept of the one who makes it and the one who receives it. These are all parts. This is all part of living in the confused state. And it's like, it's the explanation that we can get to come to the point to step through the door beyond these conceptions.
So, so basically, as long as we still have that stream of consciousness, that will carry the one who break karma, the one who get retribution. But the difference is when we attend the bodhisattva, right? We still have this stream of consciousness, but we will gradually purify them, right? Yes, the bodhisattva will not attach to this, but when things come, pay for the retribution, they're happy to do so without attachment. Because as long as they still have consciousness, right? The stream of consciousness, that means not yet repay, he will pay for it. Once he pay for it, that will become purified. Because Bodhisattva will not pray more, well, he pray only good. But the good one is still consciousness. It's not pure. But at least more good, that will pray the loving kindness and compassion. Right? If we, just like Arahat, they frozen their consonant in the Alaya consonant. That means they have no connection to the world outside. But Bodhisattva is different. They do not frozen. Because frozen, there is no chance for them to develop love and kindness and compassion. That's what we call bodhicitta. They still hold on to it to have a chance to help others. I hope I don't confuse you.
Oh, no, it makes sense.
Okay. So, is it existent or is it non-existent? Well, existent when we attach to it. Non-existent, even though it's there, but we don't attach to it, it becomes non-existent. Yeah? Okay. All right, good. That's good. I think it time is up, right? Let's stop right here. This is really good, right? Don't you think?
Oh, yeah, that's great.
It's really good teaching.
Fantastic, yeah.
Mm,
I want to, I'll tell you after we finish.
okay. Uh-oh, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
May every living being, our minds as one in radiant light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and the joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Yeah, yes.
So I was reading the Lotus Sutra and I saw one of the names of the dragon kings Anavatapta. And I don't know, something interested me about the name. I was like, okay, I'm just going to Google this and see if there's any stories about Anavatapta. And there's a really great sutra where this dragon king questions the Buddha about the conduct of a bodhisattva. It's really great. So I have it. I've only read partway through, but it's a shorter sutra, so I'm gonna go through the whole thing here eventually.
Wow.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's a Mahayana text and it's very beautiful.
Yeah. I yeah, the Mahayana teaching it's wonderful. But if you read the Theravada teaching first without knowing the Mahayana, you very easy attach to it, and
Mhm.
you have no motivation to look up to the Mahayana, and that will be the big loss for our own benefit. Um, Especially transform the mind is not easy, right?
Mhm.
To develop the loving kindness and compassion. In Theravada teaching, they do have those teaching, but it's not right. It's very what do you call? You read the Metta Sutra, right?
Yes, it's been a while, but I have read it.
It's not much about how we've developed the loving kindness and compassion, right? But
Mhm.
in the Mahayana teaching, the Buddha not only give us the teaching, but help us to understand how to develop. That's the core teaching of the Mahayana teaching. Um, and it's not easy to have a full faith into the Mahayana teaching. Um, you have to have a very good course in the past in order to have fully have strong faith into it. And that's how you'll be able to walk into the ocean of the Buddha wisdom. Um, well, I don't know. I think I do have a very good affinity with the Mahayana teaching, especially when I understand the consonant only school. That helped me to be able to penetrate to the Mahayana teaching sutra. That's why I use the consonant only to describe contemplate about the Mahayana teaching principle. Mm. You see the way I use the consonant only to demonstrate the Mahayana teaching, right? In this
Mhm.
system. And it's very important. Um, that's why when you have the totally understanding the consonant only, it will be help for you. When you read any kind of Mahayana Sutra, you will be able to gradually understand the deep core of the teaching of that sutra. Okay, anyway. All right, today we have a very good learning together. Yep.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah,
Sam.
all right, thank you. I see you tomorrow. Yeah,
Yes, I'll be on tomorrow.
good, thank you.